Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Swebe, and we are on our last day of our 5 days of top 5. Now this one is something that I'm just speculating. We are going to be talking today about 5 buddies that I would like to see changed. Now these changes may be because the buddy just doesn't match the hero power anymore, or maybe I just feel like it's just not going to contend. It's not going to be strong enough. Obviously, it has been a little bit of time since buddies have been in Battlegrounds, so of course we've seen overall just some power growth in some minions. So some of these buddies I feel like are just not going to add up anymore. That being said, let's get into it. All right, let's start out with one of the very obvious ones that I think we are all anticipating a rework for. This is Elise, Star Seeker with the buddy Junior Navigator. This is a tier 3 4/4 neutral minion. At the start of your turn, get a recruitment map. Your maps cost 1. So this is when Elise's hero power was about getting recruitment maps. So having this Junior Navigator to discount the recruitment maps that you were already getting and I'll give you recruitment maps from your tavern tier at the start of turn was really good. Now with Elise simply discovering from whatever tavern tier you're on and the cost of the hero power increasing by 1, this just doesn't feel relevant anymore. So for that reason, I am hoping to see a bit of a rework here, maybe potentially like reducing the cost of the hero power by 1 or something like that. But also Elise is really, really good. So maybe that's a little bit too good. But yeah, definitely hoping to see a change here. Having the maps in would be interesting, but also probably just not strong enough given Elise's hero power now. Let's do the other one that I think is pretty obvious as well that we might see a rework for. This is the Rat King with the Pigeon Lord. This is a tier 2 3/4. Your refreshes cost 0 while Bob's Tavern doesn't have the minion type of your hero power. So Rat King used to just be able to buff the minions that you purchase instead of discovering minions. Now I feel like this is just not relevant anymore again because you're not really... I mean, you are definitely wanting rolls. Free rolls are always great. I will never, ever turn down a free roll. However, you are using that hero power to discover and not necessarily to buff the minions you're purchasing. Well, not at all, actually, to buff the minions you're purchasing. So this makes Pigeon Lord pretty irrelevant and honestly really bad. So does not have any synergy with the hero power anymore, really. And just not really good. I feel like that's a rework we can definitely expect. Now this next one is simply because I just don't think the stats are there. They might be, but I just really don't feel like they are. So this is pertaining to Cariel Rome with Captain Fairmont as the buddy. This is a tier 3 5/7. At the end of your turn, give 5 random friendly minions +1/+1. I think that the +5/+5 stat line of Fairmont is just not enough. Like Cariel already right now, the hero power doesn't really provide enough support to purposefully want to use that hero power and take that gold instead of, trying to find better minions. The tempo absolutely can be helpful, but unfortunately it doesn't really hold up to the scaling of some minion synergies and minion types than it does like other hero powers. So Captain Fairmont just being like a furthered version of that hero power just seems very... I don't think it'll really hold up, and it's not really worth the board space of +5/+5. Overall, I don't feel strongly that Captain Fairmont will be able to contend. I think giving it +2/+2 potentially could absolutely help, but I feel like Cariel's hero power is just a little bit too weak for this. Next, we have Captain Tusk. This is Captain and Captain. This is the Raging Contender for Captain Tusk. This is a tier 2 5/3. Trash for Treasure, which is the hero power, offers 3 options instead of 2. At the time that buddies were in, Tusk was fantastic. There was a lot of economy to be found on tier 1. Staying down was way more regular than it is now, and especially in the buddy meta with the buddy meter, getting attack was very, very important, and staying down was a pretty common practice, whereas now it is a very much rush to tier 3, rush to tier 6 situation. So yes, being offered 3 options instead of 2 can very much be helpful. Like in the situation of Panda, for example, of getting offered 3 hero powers instead of 2 at the start of your turn, helpful. And also Panda's fantastic, very, very good in the game right now. Tusk, however, I think needs a little bit of help. Not the strongest hero, and having a relatively weak buddy, which, the buddies were in correlation to the hero power at the time that buddies were out. I think that just this buddy needs a little bit more help for Hook Tusk. And last but not least, we have Arana with Sglib Demon Hunter. After you play a minion, your next refresh costs 0. This is a tier 2 4/4 neutral. There are plenty, I mean, with the Recycling Wraith, there is a way to get free rolls, and Arana being able to replace the minion in the shop after the hero power is unlocked. So you don't necessarily, rolling is not really of high priority to Arana really anymore. There's no way to buy a full shop because it'll just keep getting refreshed. So I think that this, I mean, it's not bad. It's out of the 5 we've talked about today. It is definitely still helpful in the realm of like, if you feel like party rocking or playing like a Wrathweaver comp, ew, by the way. But yeah, if you feel like doing something like that, it can be helpful. But I don't think that it itself is worth a board space, in my opinion, given the meta right now. I think that Arana could use a fully different buddy, in my opinion, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one. So those are my top 5. I know that overall we have plenty of buddies and heroes that I think maybe given coming back, and, you know, we have Theo, we have a lot of things now that are very supportive for Menagerie, or even just like minion types being able to buff themselves. So these heroes that provide the buffs, like I did touch on Cariel, Sglib is kind of in a way that as well. These heroes, I feel like all maybe need to like rise up a little bit in terms of their buddy being able to help out. So that was my top 5 buddies that I think need a rework. Of course, things are going to be changing. The game has changed a lot since buddies were in last, and we have some new buddies coming in. We are going to be seeing so many shifts here. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know what buddies you think need a little bit of love in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed our 5 days of top 5. Bye, everyone.